Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
What is up, champions? It's JP. Happy to host the Push to Pass podcast today. We're going to shatter some myths out there that might be keeping you stuck. My goal here is to help you grow your business operation. I want you to separate yourself from everybody else. And that means you got to differentiate. You got to do things a little bit different, or that's what I believe. So let's break down and destroy a few myths. One is about cold calling. Every major sponsor in my portfolio right now, every single one of them, I didn't know them when I started. They didn't know me, but I picked up the phone. Most of the folks that are really successful in this space don't wait for permission. They're not sitting there waiting for warm leads or inbound marketing. They're engaging brands that have never heard of them. That's the difference between the players and the pretenders. So here's another thing that you might hear. Email is dead. Really? I don't think so. The deals that are setting in my pipeline right now started because someone opened an email, clicked on some information that I sent them, and then I engaged them in a cold call. That's what happens most of the time. And you know what? The other myth that we're going to just abolish right now, and that is scripting. They say, well, you don't want to sound stilted and you don't want to sound scripted. I understand that, but I use scripts religiously. And actually, the more you use them, the less it sounds like you're using them. I don't want to be a robot. I want the scripts to make me sound like a specialist. I want to be able to generate enthusiasm because I know what I'm going to say. I also want to be able to listen better. And if I'm not figuring out what my response is going to be or what my major points are going to be, then I can listen a lot better to the prospect. Cold calls work. Emails work. Scripts work. The question is, how do you make them work for you in the way that you operate? The second thing that might be inhibiting your growth is addressing what the real problem is. As a leader, your main job is to identify and attack the biggest constraint in your business. Because guess what? No one else in your business is going to do that for you. I believe that most business challenges boil down to two things: supply or demand, and factors around those. Those are two buckets. My first problem is demand. I had to learn how to communicate, market, sell. I attacked that relentlessly and still do every day so that I can close more, I can get more people interested. And when I do that, my demand issue is addressed. Now, once I've filled up everything that I have and I've solved this demand problem, now I may need to generate more supply. What are some new inventory areas that I certainly need? Stop playing business, start solving problems. The next thing I want to talk about is we all need help getting to the next level. I think I could save you some thousands of dollars and months of wasted time giving you some guidelines on how you get help. You may need to hire a consultant or a coach. I've been one. I've also hired them. There are really two types of consultants. The first type, they were in the trenches. They were savages in the field. The market literally pulled them out of their job and forced them to become an entrepreneur and consultant because they are so good at what they do. They have battle scars, they have victory stories. The second type, they hung out their own shingle because they're kind of tired of their current job. They may have had a really good title with a great organization, but they really didn't actually do the stuff. They just had organizational inertia that carried them along. So when you're ready to hire a consultant, ask the question, When did you last solve this exact problem? And what were the results? If they can't give you the numbers, the timelines, and tell a story about it, my advice to you is to walk away. Don't waste your money on someone who sounds good and looks good and may be at a consulting firm with a big title that's recognizable. Get the guy and the lady that actually did the work. All right. I always like to leave you with some kind of mindset perspective. Here's something that separates the champions from those that aren't. How you react when competitors win, or maybe even you lose. When other race teams in my space, that's where I'm at now, announce sponsorships, you know what I do? I'd celebrate them. I tip my hat. I'm genuinely happy for their success. Here's why that kind of abundance thinking will help you make money. First, it proves the market is viable. If someone's buying sponsors from another race team, that means you can do the same. Second, the competitors of that new sponsor are watching the new deal. Maybe it's time for you to call the competitors of that new sponsor, get them to get involved. Number 3, it's extra motivation. If my competitor closed a deal this week, I'm going to work my fanny off to do the same. Playing the long game means consistency and patience with a sense of urgency. But if you get bitter over time, someone else wins, and that poison pill is just going to be eaten away at you over and over again. Champions think about, hey, I'm going to tip my hat when somebody else wins, and I'm going to build a legacy on celebrating others, because I believe that sending out great energy is contagious. So, my friends, stop looking for the shortcuts that don't exist. Don't listen to the experts all the time to keep you out of things that might work for you. Find the real problems and choose the right people to help you with them. Celebrate other people's wins. Speaking of that, congratulations. I'm rooting for you. See you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.